But I guess for us, we started as IT support, and
Right,
then
right.
we are kind of admins or analysts,
Mm-hmm,
right?
mm-hmm.
Working in different companies, like you have all these like.
Right,
How was
right.
the interview process? Do you think there is any key pointers at this point that you have learned, remembered? Because I know in IT usually there's three stages. There's like for interview first, usually interview second,
Right.
so HR, and then the next one. Um, Explain to us how the interview process in the support role and the admin role ish, because that's what we know.
Right.
So how does that interview process works? And do you have any like key pointers? Or so let's start with, do you how does the interview process work? Let's have
Right,
the
right.
viewers.
So the interview process is similar. They usually do three stages, right? The HR screening, and then they would do a technical assessment with the managers or hiring managers, and then if you usually if you get through the second round, if you pass the technical test, then the last round would be you meet one of the executives, and then if they're okay with you, then they'll give you that offer. The difference that I found between a regular um, a IT support role versus a admin role is that for IT support role, they really test on your technical skills and your people skills and your ability to communicate with clients and customers. But for a admin role, I say they would look at your experience more and the projects and uh, experience that you've done, so that how you can use these past experience and projects to help with their organization. Because for admin roles, they are mostly um, project based, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
along with a little bit of technical support as well. So, and that's why I think that it was important to start in the help desk side, because as a systems admin, you would still have to assist with the help desk and and resolve escalated issues from them, right?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Mm-hmm.
That's really good point. So for us to, if somebody wants to start working in like admin,
Mm-hmm.
security, network side, cloud side of
Mm-hmm.
things, they want to get into IT. IT support is a really good way to get into it.
Exactly.
But for you to get the IT support, like you said, you can get the certifications, A
Mm-hmm.
plus, and
Mm-hmm.
all those certifications to start with.
Mm-hmm.
But you also need the people skill. That's something I really missed. Yeah, I missed about talking. Like I missed that point
Right.
of knowing a little bit of customer service ish,
Right.
because you still have to communicate with the users, the end users within the teams. You also and maybe outside the team sometimes as
Right.
well. Getting working in a support, experiencing that level in a company gives you more in-depth vision of what the company does, what your team does in the company,
Mm-hmm.
and like how does your team as a whole work. So like you, when the tickets comes in, the ticket, I guess for us, we through tickets we knew that like this is how things work in networking,
Mm-hmm.
this is how things work in the
Mm-hmm.
security side. So like as support, I guess you get a good overview of what the other teams does, and then you can, so like if somebody who has no plans for like for further advancement, or they don't know their end goal in their tech journey,
Mm-hmm.
they can start with IT support, and then they can explore what options they have by working on those tickets and everything, so they get more information on how IT works, how IT as a whole works, right?
Exactly. And I want to add add to that just because you're in an IT support role, it doesn't mean that you're not important, or you're not just as important as an admin or security admin or a network admin. You're just as important, because the feedback from the IT support side is very important as well. Because if you're just a cybersecurity specialist, you might not understand how users think and the experiences from the user. So it's important that the IT support department collaborates with other departments and plan out projects and just the overall experience for the end users. Right, at the end of the
Yeah,
day, all these departments are supposed to work together and give the best experience to everyone that works in the company, and
yeah.
that's how they can increase their productivity and also and that's how they can help the company, right?
Yeah, they call them the frontliners, right? So like, I guess
Exactly.
being the IT support,
Mm-hmm.
you are the communicator between the
Mm-hmm.
teams to the users and back and forth.
Exactly.
So you are the point of contact. You have all the information. You need to know how to communicate that information to the users.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing from the users to your team. So it's
Exactly.
back and forth both
Mm-hmm.
ways. So IT support even though on a bigger perspective,
Mm-hmm.
maybe in the rest of the companies, maybe it's a non, because when we used to work in a non-IT company,
Right.
for a non-IT company, there's all different departments. There's always like there's marketing and all those departments, and they
Yeah.
think they don't think your job is as important, because they just think you're a support guy.
Yep.
You're just a guy who fixes computers,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not like that. It's
Yeah.
deeper. It's way deep than that.
Exactly. And the truth is that the IT support guy would know a lot more than anyone else in the company.
Yeah. So it's not just breaking fixing the computers and the devices that we do
Mm-hmm.
as an IT
Right.
support, but we used to do. We also talk about the access provisioning and everything side,
Right.
like access provisioning side of things, which people I don't think know.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't think a lot of people know how the access comes in. How does that work?
Exactly. Like just like you said, like the IT support guy would probably know more about license and the type of access that the end user need than the actual administrators that manages the license itself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And then there's talk about all the, like I said, the access request specifically with how we used to work it. Remember the other teams would send us requests depending on their titles,
Right.
on depending on the apps.
Mm-hmm.
So go deeper into like there's different kind of apps and there's different kind of like titles, and they need all those different kind of
Right.
permissions. How does that work? So like what I mean to say is, I guess let me be more clear.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I can explain it more better.
Mm-hmm.
IT support role is not just supporting all these devices and the
Right.
people, not just reinstalling and installing softwares. It's also provisioning access to different kind of people in different kind of levels and
Yep.
different kind of applications.
Right.
So knowing all that, and communicating that to different kind of, not kind of, but different type of level of people in a company.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say if you're supporting a VP,
Mm-hmm.
it's not that you're just gonna be coming to the office and maybe fixing his computer and stuff, but there's gonna be more to it. You're gonna be, if it's a VP, then like you have to manage that, make sure that their software, whatever software tools that they use online, they only have the access and not like their fellow teammates, and you have to make sure all that as well. So it's deeper. Like these
Exactly.
things people don't know yet.
Exactly. Like the IT support specialist will know a lot more of what the end user's needs are than anyone else in the company or any other IT department.
Yeah, and the admin role, right? So you say the admin role is more on the project side, system admin, network admin.
Exactly.
Yeah, so they don't talk much with users. What's their bigger job profile like?
Well, their job profile is more granular, right? Rather than targeting, let's say, like resolving issue, maybe like rather than resolving issues for a single person, you might be doing projects that are or more granular for the entire company. For
Right.
example, right now that there's a project that I'm dealing with would be the Windows 10 to Windows 11 migration, right? And that would affect every single person in the company rather than just upgrading a single person.
Can you explain the migration? So what is it?
Well, the migration,
So it's basically all users changing their lap or changing their OS from Windows 10 to Windows 11. It's a
exactly.
whole big project.
Exactly, and it's a pretty tight deadline right now because as you know, Microsoft Windows 10 is sending support in October of 2025. So before that deadline, we would have to transition everyone from Windows 10 to Windows 11, right?
Yeah.
That's a whole upgrade process, and we work with a lot of other departments. We have a project manager that manages the project. For myself, my main role would be the would be the implementation
Right.
person
Yeah.
in Intune. So we use Intune for to manage all our devices, and then we have the security teams that has to that has to work on the security assessment, and and we have the applications team that will have to make sure that all the enterprises apps or custom apps that they use are compatible with Windows
Right.
11. So it's a lot of, we work a lot more with different departments, and we have to all collaborate together, and which would big changes to the entire company rather than just one person, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It's big.